Yes, Jason.
Hello, young lady. It's time to get going.
All right, I'm ready.
It's time to tell you, oh baby, it's time. You are my bread and love, baby, you are.
This is Cash Talk.
It's time to tell you, oh baby, it's time.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Cash Talks. Y'all know who it is. It's your girl, Rachel Cash, in the building. And I'm here with a legendary person, y'all. I am here with Mr. David Humphries in the building. Y'all give it up for him. I'm so happy for him being here with us today. This is a legend in the building, y'all. Y'all got to give it up for him. How are you?
All right. Everything is hairy. You know.
That's what it's all about, huh, with
That's
you?
right.
I know, right? So I'm so happy you being on the show. You have so much history, so many things that we could talk about. But I'm going to start off with talking to you about things that you got going on right now.
Okay, right now, Hair Wars Around the World is an internet show. It's on all the time, 24/7. And we're not doing as many shows as we used to do. When we're off the road, we do shows here and there.
Okay.
But to keep in touch with the people, to let them know what we're doing, and to keep the hairstyles out there, we do the internet show.
Okay.
And you can pull it up on the website, hairwarsustour.com, and check out. We interview hairstyles. We show highlights. It's a lot of stage performances, a little bit of news, but mostly entertainment and interviews. So people want to hear the stories about these hair people, how they live, and things that they don't know about. And they may see their hairstyles, but watching the show gives you an opportunity to meet some of these hair people. Yeah,
and I love that. It's still people that talk about you today. I told you I was having a conversation at work. I mentioned your name one time, and they were like, "You talking about Hump, the DJ?" I didn't even know you were a DJ.
Yeah.
That's how you started.
That's where the name came from. And when I started Hair Wars, I was going to just take Hump the Grinder off of there, but no, everybody knows. So I put it as Hump the Grinder's Hair Wars. I just kept it. But yeah, DJing was a thing I've been doing since I started in like 75.
Wow.
So I'm dating myself, and I'm old.
You ain't old. He said calling him a legend is calling him old. That's nothing.
Yeah, well, that's true.
You
have to be old to be a legend, I would think.
Absolutely.
And so music has always been a part of it. I was with Record Pool, and I was with a lot of DJs for years in Detroit.
Okay.
And and then I had to start hiring DJs to do the Hair War shows. And a lot of DJs in Detroit were doing segments for the Hair War shows.
Okay.
Like hairstyles would hire them to do their stage performances, their soundtrack.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, DJ's always been a part of the Hair Wars.
Wow.
And part of me too.
And part of you, absolutely. So I have tons of questions to ask you. So my first one is, what inspired you to create Hair Wars? And did you ever imagine it would become like a global?
Well, of course, I never thought it was going to take off like it did.
Yeah.
We were doing the nightclubs in Detroit. We just started Exotic Hair Night, for the hairstyles to start the party, and we put some hairstyles on stage, and they bring their models and show them what they can do.
Yeah.
And it just, the interest was there because a lot of hairstyles would come to the parties. And they wanted to show what they can do too. It's like, hey, I'm better than them. I've seen them perform and do their hairstyles, and it was a way for them to promote themselves.
Yeah.
It was no platform for hairstylists to advertise their work.
Yeah.
And they needed a spot. So the nightclubs ended up working well because the people who come to parties get their hair done. It was a great connection with their new clientele they could pick up by being at the parties.
Wow. So how do you define your legacy in the hair industry?
Well, hair entertainment.
Yeah.
I think I brought that to the country that wasn't really there. Hairstylists weren't superstars. Except for their being in the magazines, they were stars in the magazines. But as far as people seeing them perform and doing entertainment and education too, a lot of people don't think Hair Wars was that involved in education, but really. We've done more seminars than we've done shows.
Yeah.
But there's no talk about that. Media never says anything. We don't get any coverage of this entertainment seminars, education, because the whole country wanted to know how to do Detroit hairstyles. We were like original.
Yes.
So I would take hairstyles. I took one guy, Carl Reed. We did 25 cities. It took us 2 years, but we went through this country. And we're showing them Hair Wars. And then some cities I would follow up and bring the Hair Wars to them.
Okay.
Depending on the interest and a lot of the variables.
Yeah. That's awesome. And you mentioned Carl Reed. I remember him too. It was awesome. I didn't know that you guys traveled.
Oh, we traveled. I mean,
Yeah.
we're always on the road because the Heritage Design magazine, Billy Kayson,
Yeah.
he's a publisher for the magazine. He had the book out there. I mean, every city I went to, you know, everybody knew Detroit hairstyles. So it was
Right.
easy for me because Billy kind of paved the way. It made it easy for me to go into a city, find out who's selling the book,
Yeah.
who's selling the most books, and he would help me out. He would give me names of people I needed to contact. Well, if I went to L.A., who sells the most books in L.A., who sells the most books in Miami, who sells the most books in Chicago.
Yeah.
And then I would get information from him so I could have something to start with.
Yep.
So he helped me out a lot. And then the hairstyles in Detroit was a superstar. It was like no other city in America.
Yeah. That's awesome. What's the most unforgettable moment you've experienced doing your Hair Wars journey?
Wow, that's a hell of a question.
Yeah.
The Apollo in New York.
The
doing
Apollo.
Doing
Oh
hair
my
wars at the
God.
Apollo. That was because you know I've always watched the Apollo Amateur Night and all.
Yeah. Yeah.
And for us to do the hair show there, it was amazing because the stump. You know when
Oh,
you
yeah.
rub the stump, they had
You
put it
rub-
up. They packed it up and said it's not for guests. You know I rented out the Apollo.
Oh, yeah.
And I wanted the stump, and they said that's only for amateur night. I said, you know how many people in this show are looking forward to rubbing that stump?
I know.
So they unlocked the door, took the stump out for us.
Yeah.
So everybody had a chance to do
Oh.
the thing and perform.
That's amazing.
And then we were watching the production crew at the Apollo, kind of taught us some things. And
Yeah.
they were so good at it, we thought we were good until we went to the Apollo and watched them operate.
Yeah.
How smooth and precise everything was. So it helped sharpen us up too.
Yeah, absolutely, to see those things. So you've traveled the world. How have different cultures influenced your view of the hair industry? Because I know you've seen a lot since you've been traveling.
Yeah, well, we've seen a lot. People are really not really known so much for doing the fantastic hair,
Yeah.
you know. And that's what I've seen by going to different places. You see a lot of people that are really talented
Yeah.
that don't get an opportunity to showcase their work, you know. And so I've seen a lot. Of course, the black culture has just got so many variations of hair, and the entertainment part, you know, when you bring them together, the hairstyles and the stage show, you know, it's great for everybody to enjoy themselves.
Definitely. What kept you going during like the toughest moments of your career?
I don't think there were any toughest moments.
I love that.
Really, I mean, we had a ball, and you know, it was. I wouldn't say there were tough moments.
Yeah.
It was moments where the money could have been tight.
Right.
Maybe that was tough because sponsors. You know, we had sponsors, but then you know, and sponsors sometimes they want to take over.
Yeah.
You know,
Definitely.
so I had to leave. I had to walk away from some money on the table.
Yeah.
So I guess when you look at tough moments, that might have been. It wasn't that tough because I can deal with little and I can deal with a lot.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna get down anyway, regardless of the financial situation. We're gonna do these shows. We're gonna make it happen. You
Yeah.
know, we may not have all the bells and whistles on every show, but we set it up where, you know, we kind of work with under our means.
Yeah.
So if the money got tight, it might not look any different.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because sponsors and other people have presented all this big stage, you know, elaborate stage stuff, and if they leave, then what? It's not just going to change the look.
Right.
And so I had to keep it kind of simple but efficient.
Yeah, definitely, because you could never tell if it was anything different ever when you guys did it. So what's your personal mantra or mindset that fuels your success?
Believing it's going to work.
Yeah.
You know, because, you know, there's a lot of people, a lot of oppositions with some of my friends with like, what the hell are you trying to do? You know, you're leaving the party circuit. I was doing the concert promoting too, you know, with a couple of tour people. But it really, it just got to stay on it, you know, and take what you learn. Ricky Walker, I don't know if you heard of him, Cedric Ricky Walker, he's the producer of Universal Circus.
Okay.
Now, I worked with him before I started Hair Wars. I was working with the New York City Fresh Festival
Okay.
as an advanced promoter. And they would send me to these cities. I did for each tour, we did 3 years, 84, 85, and 86. I would do 20 cities. I would handle promotions, bring in the groups, Run DMC, Curtis Blow,
All right now.
Grandmaster Flash, Run Fat Boys, Houdini.
Yeah.
All those groups were Nucleus. They were all part of the Fresh Fest, and we would do these shows and sell out. And so the guy Ricky Walker, he helped me learn about how to organize things to the minute. You know, I mean, his shows is to the minute. The circus is to the minute.
Yeah.
You know, when you work with people like that, you pick up things.
Definitely.
You know?
Yeah.
So yeah, I would say that it helped, and just stay committed, you know, and be ready to act and react.
Yeah, there you go. You know, that brings me to my transition of, you know, you giving advice to rising stars. You know, what do you think about the hair industry now?
The hair industry is still powerful.
Yeah.
I think it needs to be boosted up by this young generation. It needs to step it up a little bit, because a lot of the young generation, hairstylists and beauty school students or newer, younger stylists, professional stylists, they don't have that same work ethic.
Yeah.
You know, because see, we didn't have the internet. It was no social media, and everybody was working hard. It wasn't instant success like it is right now. It was like instant oatmeal. You know, they want to be a fan. They want to be famous now, not next week, not 2 years from now. But there's a plan.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to connect some of the young stylists who want to do things with some of these old mentors.
Yeah.
Because they want to mentor the young industry people to show them the right way to do it, and to have a little patience, but don't stop working hard.
Yeah.
And be cool about how you spend your money and how you live, because you might need a little bit of that, which you blew.
Exactly.
You know,
yeah. So. That's great advice. So what advice would you give to someone who's very talented but struggling to get noticed?
Talk to people like myself.
Yeah.
Because I can help you promote yourself. I mean, I took people that weren't known at all, and not saying I'm the only person that got them known, but it was the help of magazines they need to get with, you know, or being out there in the public, maybe have a PR person, you know, do your media releases,
Absolutely.
you know, because you keep feeding the media. See, the media could put you up on top without spending any money, because there's no fee for that. You just have to show them what you can do, follow up with some releases, show them pictures of your work, and then be steady. They keep seeing you out there, then you're going to get a break.
Right.
Hair companies start noticing who you are. They hire you to be a platform artist at a convention like Bronner Brothers in Atlanta, you know, things like that. So a young person, just stay on there and have a little patience, but don't stop working.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I say, because there's opportunities out there, you know, because we feed people opportunities where they might need some wild hair.
Yeah.
They come through Hair Wars when Lady Gaga first came out.
Okay.
And I was like, she's different. And then they contacted me about getting somebody to do some wild stuff for her hair. So I had to have hairstylists who could do what they wanted. They wanted like 5 pieces in 10 days or something. It was real crazy. It was so I had to get somebody, you know, Weaving Steven, he's a guy out of Pittsburgh.
Okay.
And he was the one that did that job. You know, and they pay well. So I'm like a hair agent.
Yeah.
You know,
I didn't know that either.
I've connected several people with, you know, Supreme. You ever heard that Supreme brand out of New York?
Yes, I have.
Well, they just had us do this. Well, I can't show any pictures because of the confidentiality agreement, but crazy stuff for Supreme.
Yeah.
And hopefully it'll come out soon.
Yeah.
Because that was a good one. And I had to get Khalifa Scissorhands pulled. He's from Detroit. He pulled that one off. So when opportunities come, music videos, even movies, you know, they did the hair show. When the hair show movie came out, you know, we were kind of involved in that. They didn't want to pay me.
Yeah.
So they
Yeah,
you know.
we are going to thank you for that. That's awesome. So we are going to show, you just talked about some pictures. So we're going to show some amazing pictures, you know, from things that you've done, recent things. We're going to show some pictures and give people an opportunity to take a look at those pictures.
All right.
So we're going to get them rolling. Look at that. Talk to us about this one. Yeah, talk to us. Talk to us about this picture.
This is Keith Matthews. Let's see, where was this at? It's recently though.
Was that recent? Okay.
This is pretty recent.
Yeah.
I'm trying to recognize where this was at, but it's Keith Matthews.
Yeah.
And
look at that.
he's from Detroit, the Beauty Village on Plymouth, and he's one of the veterans that is still out there with me. He's doing it. He's been traveling all over the country with me.
That's
and
awesome.
he puts it down. This was the gas tank deal. It was for a celebration we had a car show. We had a few hair stars and hot car shows over the years, and this was a gas tank hairdo. You know, make sure that they didn't run out of gas. So you know,
she kept it going. That's
It was done
awesome.
by Christina, the Glam Tech. She's out in LA now doing big things.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and this was a beauty school student right there from I
Wow.
believe Dorsey Beauty School of Beauty
Yeah.
in Madison Heights.
Very
They came
creative.
to the show. Yeah, the students are really, really creative, and they get a lot of energy into doing things, you know, they
Yeah.
don't normally do. So they,
Oh,
this
here
is,
we go.
oh yeah, this is the barbecue pit. Barbecue pit hairdo is done by Ali Dessois.
Yes.
Now that was the actual functional George Foreman grill in that hair was cooking
Oh
the hot
my
dog, and the miles eating hot dogs down the runway. I mean, they didn't have to go to the concession stand. They had it right on the runway.
Oh my God.
And so yeah, he got the idea from Medea's family reunion. He told me.
Yes,
He made him do
that's
that. You know, they get ideas all kind of different ways.
That is so amazing. Let me talk about that piece for a minute. Can we go back to that piece just for 1 second? Now, when we talked about this piece, you said this piece was actually like mentioned other
Oh
places.
yeah, they
you know.
wanted, and we went to the MoMA Museum in New York. Wanted to bring him out to be a part of. We had Hair Wars out there.
Yeah.
And they wanted him at the. There's another museum in New York. I get confused all these names. They
Yeah.
wanted this piece.
This, yeah.
You know, and then the people from France that did the special. It was a magazine TV show that they seen this piece on, and they wanted to put it on, but it's not around anymore.
I know.
I mean, he didn't. He something happened to it.
Yeah.
It got damaged in the garage or something. I'm not sure what condition it was in, but it wasn't. It couldn't be refurbished.
No, I mean,
So
it's
it just
amazing.
died.
That's
It
crazy.
died. We got pictures and videos, but that's about as far as we can do.
That's amazing. We'll go to the next one. Miss
That's-
Latoya.
Yeah, the famous Latoya Pearson. She
Yes.
was a legend. She started when we first started in the nightclubs, doing the shows, and she was really very supportive. I mean, she was
Yeah.
there every week. It didn't matter if it was snowstorm or ice storms. Latoya Pearson would never miss the show. She passed away. You know, rest in peace, Latoya.
Yeah, rest in
Everybody
peace to
loved her because she had a special talent, and nobody in the country was like Latoya Pearson when it came to commentating the hair shows.
Absolutely.
She was the greatest.
Yeah, no one could match that personality. I definitely remember that from when I was modeling in here.
And she made everybody feel good too.
Yes, yes.
This is Latoya Pearson right there. She had an African Girl,
Yeah.
African World Festival. This is down the Hart Plaza. This is
at
the
them.
older picture. That was so many people there,
I
and
swear.
we had a good time. We put on a show. We had about maybe 20 acts, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we had about, and everybody was cheering. A lot of these people had never seen a hair show before because it was a festival, so they
Yeah.
wasn't our regular clientele. So we introduced, you know, the hair entertainment to a lot of people
Yeah.
on that event.
That's awesome. I mean, you always brought the crowd out though. Like anytime you had, anytime you had a show, you brought the crowd out.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I'm not even surprised about that. So I love that. All those amazing pictures. That's like history. That's like
Right.
tons of history for you. What do you think? I'm gonna go back a little bit about, you know, giving advice to those rising stars, because when you look at that stuff, like I said, it's emotional to see because you did so many things and got a lot of people started. So what's the biggest mistake you see newcomers in the hair industry? What's the biggest mistake you see that they make right now?
Giving up too quick,
Yeah.
you know, because a lot of times you go to beauty school, get your license, you know, now you want to make all the money right away.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you spend the money before you have it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's good to get up under somebody and learn the game a little bit before you start making plans about all the things you want to buy.
Yeah.
You know,
Yes.
or your expectations. You know, of how much money you can make so quick.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's a story, you know, about that. I have a thing called Hairstyle Stories, and I talk about it. I have characters that go through this, how they were so good when they were young, but they didn't have the patience, and they overspent, and trying to, you know, having the different a standard of living that wasn't right for that time yet.
Right.
And that's a mistake I see made. You gotta kind of live under your means, stay humble,
Yeah.
and if you believe in yourself and you surround yourself with the right people, you're gonna be okay.
Yeah, I love that you said stay humble, surround yourself with the positive people.
Yeah,
You know,
we got a lot of
help you.
haters out here, I guess. You know, people that don't want you to succeed, but the ones that make it, they
Yeah.
bust through all that.
I know.
That doesn't bother them. But now with social media, we didn't have that when we first started. It's kind of different because there's a lot of pressure on people. You know,
Yeah.
you're trying to prove yourself, or you know, half the stuff on Facebook is probably fake. you know, but you know, you don't know what to believe.
You mentioned that.
So
I know. No, that's the truth though. So you did talk about the hair wars story. So you had a documentary that was created for you.
yeah, filmed by my brother Paul Humphries Sr.
Yes.
Put it out there because we had to tell the true story. The media was twisting it all around. They kept making hair wars into a competition. It's a showcase. It's not a competition.
Right.
But they made it into a competition where one winner wins all. This is like let me see, who did the first one that did that was Ripley's, believe it or not.
Wow.
They came in, they brought the crew in, and they came and filmed all this and kept saying it was only one winner. So they asked me, could they get a picture of Mr. Little, what they call him Michael Turner, his real name. They didn't put his nickname on TV.
Him.
They said, can you get a picture of him holding that trophy? But everybody, 35 trophies were given away that night.
But it was just one person that they chose.
And this was the way they ended it. He was the one that took it all.
Okay.
And I'm like, okay, I'm tired of seeing stuff like this. You know, we got to make our own a documentary and tell the real story. Didn't hold anything back. I could have got deeper into some things, you know, but you know, it's documentaries only so much time you could tell your story. Because there was some things in there I got to have a part 2 because there's some stuff that needs to be talked about that happened along the way. You know, with things that happened in different cities. They were trying to hold us back. Didn't want us to succeed, but we bust through all that stuff.
Yeah, talk to us a little bit about that because that's something that other people, you know, to prevent those things from happening. You know, how did you?
Well, first of all, you know, bringing the black production into some of these high-end hotels or venues around the country, they didn't really want it.
Yeah.
You know, and they didn't think we were going to succeed. We'll have a big, beautiful place, and they look at me like, "You sure you want all this space?" I'm like, "Yes." You know, I had floor plans, everything. You know, but a lot of the undercurrent of management, hotels, people just didn't want us to be there to do what we're doing. They don't want all this around them.
Right.
So we had to deal with some of that kind of stuff with, you know, police, people calling the police, saying there's a riot at the hair show, and there's no riot at the hair show. But it was a lot of things were going on with, you know, it was crazy. A couple of cities we were in, you know, some things were happening, but it didn't happen. They just kind of created it to make it seem like news crew on their way, helicopters in the air. They wanted a mess, but we never gave them that.
Yeah.
So those were some things that happened that wasn't talked about in the documentary. But basically the documentary talks about, you know, the journey. There's a lot of clips of different things that happen with the media is in there. But we talked about the stylists, you know, being stars.
Yeah.
And building them up and showing what they did, how we first started when we went to LA in '94. Really, that was the first trip out of town. And we were almost 10 years at home before we left.
Yeah. Wow, that's a lot. So where can somebody like myself get the documentary?
Well, it's not posted on the website right now. You can email if you go to the website, hairwarsustour.com.
Okay.
You can hit the email and send the email.
Send an email and request it.
All you got to say is a documentary, and we'll follow up and get it to you.
You guys need to get that documentary. I'm going to get that documentary, so check it out. Like, that's history. I want to see all of the things because, you know, with you saying that all of those things were taking place behind the scenes, we never saw anything like that. Never was seen. So I think that's awesome. But to let people know that it did happen is a good thing.
Yeah, a lot of things. And, you know, it was a real smooth ride. A lot of places we went to were really fabulous. The Queen Mary in Long Beach, California.
Wow, okay.
There's a ship. It's docked. It's not traveling.
Yeah,
but
yep.
We did a show that was great.
Yeah.
Comerica Park. We did the show with the Tigers. Opened up one of the Detroit Tigers games with baseball hairdos. So we did like 20 baseball, and they let us on the field, first base line, third base line.
Yeah.
They let me throw out the first pitch. I said, well, if I throw out the first pitch, Little Willie got a hairstyle with a glove with a zipper. Let's put the ball in the glove and let her escort me to the mound. So we never done that before. I don't know, we got to get approval.
Yeah.
And so anyway, they let me do it. So this girl, she escorted Little Willie. I unzipped the glove, hid it in the hair, woven in her hair, and I pulled the ball out and threw a strike.
Oh my gosh!
And then they let us pick who sung the national anthem. Vanessa Bill Armstrong.
Okay.
And one of the guys at the Tigers, he didn't know her. He's like, well, she has to audition. And the one lady who knew, she's a Grammy Award winner. She doesn't have to audition.
Right.
It's an honor to have her sing the national anthem at the show. So John Gooden did her hair, famous hairstylist from Detroit. And so that was a good time, and we won the game.
Look at that.
we whipped the weave off of Seattle Mariners.
Whip the weave off. That's what I'm talking
But yeah,
about.
they took care of me. The Tigers, you know, they gave me like 250 free tickets.
That's awesome.
For the hair people.
Yeah.
Spent about like 15, 20 grand on the radio advertising, but a full page in the Michigan Chronicle. They were really blowing it up.
Yeah.
This hair thing, you know, we support Detroit, we support the hair industry, and we weren't getting much of that back then. You know, but we started getting some more corporate support.
Yeah, I think that's amazing. I mean, that's awesome that you even got that traction and got that support from them. That's awesome.
Yeah. We love the Tigers. And then Paws came to one of our shows.
Aww.
And we, you know, we gave a plaque away to the Tigers, and Paws, you know, Paws the mascot.
Yeah.
Real popular, you know. And I had to meet Paws because I wanted to do something a little different.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Paws never had a mohawk on Paws' helmet. So
did you do a mohawk?
I had to meet Paws, and they gave me the helmet. And I had Lil Willie put a mohawk on the helmet.
Oh my God!
With colored blue and orange, and put it on. So Paws wore the mohawk helmet at the Hair Wars and came down, and everybody was taking pictures with Paws.
Yes.
That was a cool opportunity for that. You know, they were showing their support. You know,
Yeah.
They said they usually charge a fee for Paws to come to an event. They didn't.
No, I mean,
said,
they
nah.
represented.
Yeah,
represented well.
Yeah, so it worked out. The Tigers is a good support system for Detroit.
I love that. I love it. Oh my God, is there a picture of Paws like that?
Yeah,
Did you have one?
I got.
I have to go and find. I didn't see this picture. I got to see this
No,
picture.
well, you know, I got so many pictures.
I know.
But yeah, you can see Paws with the mohawk, and we were at Cobo. We did the show at Cobo Hall, and it was good turnout.
Yeah.
It was Hair Wars with a twist of pink. That was it was the breast cancer. We worked with Carmen's Cancer Institute, and they, you know, we were raising money for the cancer treatment research.
That's amazing. That's what I'm talking about, that history and all the stuff. So I have to ask this question because we've talked about so many things now. What's next for Hair Wars?
The next is over the horizon. I don't want to see you. I don't know where it's at. You know, see, the thing about it, you put things out there, you know. Next, I would like to be for us to go to Europe, because we've had a lot of European media and production companies coming to Detroit, or maybe to another city we're in, and cover us. But then we never took a show outside. We went to Antigua and did a show in the island. But as far as going to Europe, that's where a lot of action has been going. A lot of people watch the Hair Wars around the world. They're in Europe, you know, and we get a lot of support. They know who we are. You know, we had a group out of Denmark, Copenhagen, Denmark, came and performed.
Wow.
From Europe, so they spread the word too, and then you know, we got a good connection with the European people. You know, I got a lot of people on my email list because that's how I communicate with a lot of them, through email.
Okay.
And we building it up, so I think that would probably be next, or maybe another documentary.
Yeah.
You know, it could be coming up too.
I love that. Listen, we having me in suspense around here. Okay? I'm excited about now that if you all go to Europe now, you don't forget me. Let me know.
All right.
'Cause I'm coming with y'all.
All right. Rachel Cass on
Did
her
y'all
way.
hear that? I'm coming with him. I'm coming to you. I'm going with him. How do you see the hair industry evolving in the next 5 to 10 years?
I think it's still going to be strong. I think it may shift. Power may shift. Detroit has been known as the hair capital of the world for a long time. We might be losing that grip on it.
Yeah.
You know,
Detroit, yeah.
Yeah, well, you know, Atlanta, everybody talks about Atlanta. You know, Atlanta's a hair convention capital.
Okay.
And they have a lot of hairstyles down there. As a matter of fact, a lot of hairstyles in Atlanta were from other cities. They end up, a lot of from Detroit too, Chicago, Baltimore, D.C. area, Philadelphia. They end up in Atlanta.
Okay.
Which kind of strengthened Atlanta, even though they're not homegrown, but they're there. So if you really want to look at that part of it, you know, Atlanta could be making a move.
Yeah. Yeah, I know we were talking a little bit about that. Do you worry anything about AI?
Yeah, I don't like it. Okay.
Talk to me about that.
Well, AI is like, it's taking the originality out of a lot of things that people normally would do. I mean, you can't stop technology.
Yeah.
So it's going to go. But me, myself, and me being a photographer, you know, you don't know what's real and what's not.
Yeah.
And that takes away from, you know, a lot of people who are really talented to really pull their talent out without artificial intelligence interrupting creativeness. So, but you can't do anything about AI, but deal with it and understand it and learn it.
Yeah, I mean, it's growing.
Yeah.
It's growing. It's
Taking
doing
people's jobs too.
It is taking people's jobs.
I hope they don't start doing hair AI and
just doing hair on AI.
Yeah, doing hair. Right.
Well, if they can create videos and different things to make you think that, because they can do that right now. Like you can just create a video doing whatever. So.
It's here to stay, and it's not going anywhere. It's about how you want to deal with it, and but yeah.
But I mean, do you really think like it'll overpower the hair industry? Like I don't think,
Not really. I mean, some things are are gonna. Some things you got to have your hands on.
Yeah.
That's
definitely.
real.
Yeah.
Because they can't replace every job.
Right.
A lot of things they can replace, but no, I don't think the hands of a hairstylist.
Yeah.
And the creative minds of hairstylists, I think it's going to overtake that.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I agree with that. So I've asked you so many questions. I want you to just kind of talk to us about, because the show tonight was all about the wise word from you because of everything that you've, dealt with, and everything has been just positive. Like everything, when I did my, when I researched everything about you, everything positive, pictures and all of those good things. And again, you're not just, hair awards, you're a photographer and you were a DJ. You did all of these things. So what are some wise advice that you can give to those who are watching you right now on them, not just in the hair industry, but just trying to do the things that they want to do and stay encouraged?
Well, I mentioned earlier about surrounding yourself with the right people.
Yeah.
Now, your circle could be small, but it could be very powerful.
Yeah.
And I think that more people need to just feel the people who are around and make decisions about who needs to be around me, because some people are good to be, they motivate you, you motivate them. They're good to bounce ideas off each other. And I think the key is being around the right people and staying focused on your plan,
Yeah.
And, things may not work as fast as you would like them to.
Yeah.
But stick to the plan and be strict about what I have rules and regulations that I've always implemented into the show. People were mad, very mad at me.
Okay.
And because it was some top people that I wouldn't let on the show if they were late. If you're late, you don't go on later.
I
You're
love
not
that.
going on at all.
Exactly.
I had people fly out to L.A. One show, I had 3 acts from Detroit, went out to L.A., spent a lot of money, thousands of dollars for their models and flights and hotels and outfits, and didn't get on stage. Because they hang out at Venice Beach and doing things, sightseeing,
Yeah.
but they missed the window.
Oh my God.
And then it used to be at first when they started being late, I would let them on. At the end, that's what they wanted. They'll pay the late fees. I had late fees.
Yeah.
You go show late, you had to pay a late fee for
Definitely.
each model. So they would had a strategy. We're gonna come late on purpose. We're going at the end. That got cut real short. All of a sudden, it was not. It was like, you late, you're not getting on at all.
Yeah.
So like I say, people were upset with me. They wanted to beat me up and everything. But but they give you respect later.
Yeah.
And at the time, they're upset. They're not going on. I had all kind of I remember a group of ladies that her son wasn't going on. Her son, his guys. It was a whole group of guys from this downtown salon and barbershop. And the ladies came to me, and this one lady, she was the mother of one of the guys that wasn't going on. She had a big church hat, and she was hitting me in the head with it while she was cussing me out. She was like, I can't do nothing with the old lady, but back up.
Oh my God.
I mean, she was so mad that her boy didn't get on stage that night. But I can't let that bother me. It didn't bother me at all. It's like, hey, and then you go on probation for a year. It was a Hair Wars probation.
Wow.
So I had a newsletter called the Hair Wars Report. It came out every month. And I had it was only 4 pages, but it was, it was a list of people who might mess up in that month.
Yeah.
And that was the first thing they went to. It was called the list.
Wow.
And they would go to that. It was all positive stuff, and
Of
the whole rest of
course.
the people. But there was one list of people who mess up. It's too much around the country. So we were doing like 10 shows a year, 10 cities a year for like about 15 years. So we were reaching a lot of different people, and nobody wanted to get on that list.
Yeah.
But then if you messed up, you gotta wait a year, and then you can come back if you want to.
I mean, you and I were talking a little bit before the show started about work ethic and all those things and time management. And why wouldn't you do something like that? Like, you guys were traveling, you're spending a lot of money. It should be something.
Yeah, well, it's a lesson learned. I mean, people told me that they've learned from when I put them on that probation or wouldn't let them on the show.
Yeah.
And they, well, of course, they were mad at the time, but they, after a while, it made them better. They tell me, they straighten them out. They look like, hey, he's my friend, but he still has rules and regulations.
Definitely.
And I tell all the younger people who have a business, you can't have your friends. You gotta be fair with everybody.
Yeah.
You can't let this person get away with something and that person can't.
Exactly.
I mean, my way is like, I really, when I stop a person from getting on, I don't really want to do that.
Yeah.
But in order to have integrity in my business and for you to respect my business, I'm gonna have to do it.
Definitely.
I have no choice.
Yeah.
So it's no, shoot, one guy came, I don't know, he's in a bunch of gold ropes, had a lot of money. This is in Ohio, Columbus. He pulls out a big amount of money. What's it gonna take to get my girls on? I said, they've already been bumped from the show. So he starts whipping these hundreds out. He's just pulling hundreds. I said, you can stop, man. I can't take it. I was looking at it like, I could really use that money. Because, you really could use it. He had a big knot. And he had a big stomach, too. And he hit me with his stomach. Like, boom.
Wow.
Came around and he says, man, come on, man. You got to do something. I'm looking at him. I said, look, man, I don't know what you do for a living. I think I knew what he did. But people respect your business. I want you to respect mine, okay? He put his money up, told the girls there wasn't going on.
Yeah.
And that was it.
Yeah.
We had no other words.
Yeah. I mean, that's how you get the respect. And again, you said integrity about your business, and that's what people need to carry. And always, keep the integrity to make sure, that's how you stay successful. So,
right.
Yeah, I love that.
So you got to do what you got to do. And people, I go to places now, sometimes they just bring me out to be in the house, Like different cities will say, hey, you the one that got our city started doing hair shows because they weren't doing them anywhere.
Yeah.
And so they'll bring me out. That's what I do now. So I fly to different cities sometime or speak. They pay me to just speak.
Speak, yeah.
And tell some of the story that they want me to encourage other people, like what you're doing on your show. They want me to encourage people to, listen to other folks that have been through some of this stuff.
Yeah.
And you listen to enough of those people.
Definitely.
It helps them out, gives them ideas and some questions they may have, gets cleared up, and they move on their journey.
Yeah, I love that. You've given us so much history and talking about integrity and all that. We can go on and on all day about talking about that. But I definitely want to have you come back because I know you got some things that'll probably be coming up, and I would love for you to come back on the show.
All right.
Listen, y'all give it up for the legendary Mr. David Humphthegrinder Humphries. Like,
all right.
you got to
Thank
give
you
it
very
up for
much.
him.
Thank you.
All right, because this was an amazing show. You got to come back.
Okay.
You got to come back. So we're going to definitely have him come back, you guys. It's your girl, Cash Talks. I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. Thanks to my crew. My crew in the house. Let's give it up.
All right, crew.
The crew. You got Mr. Lawson in the house, Darian, and my guy Lamar, always taking care of me. Thank you guys so much. Again, it's Cash Talks, and I'm signing out. You guys have a good night.